Alright, we're going to do a new APT today. It's going to be the DNA Reverse APT. It's pretty straightforward. It's going to illustrate a few Java concepts. We're going to make the reverse of a string. We don't know if it's a 3' to 5' string or a 5' to 3' string, but it boils down to just reversing a string. Here's an example. We have AAGGTTCC. We reverse it, we get CCTTGGAA. You can see that here. Some strings might be palindromic, the reverse is the same, but our method will just deal with that. We know the name of the class is DNA Reverse, the name of the method is reverse. So, we're ready to go into Eclipse. I'm going to right-click, make a new class. I have to specify the name of the class. It's DNA Reverse. I just press return. I get my standard method there. I'm going to move this back out so I can see the whole thing. And now I'm going to have public. It returns a string. The name of the method is reverse. It has one parameter. Now if I save this, I have my kind of standard red X. I can make Eclipse fix that by clicking on it, add a return statement. And the default is it uses a string that it knows about. It happens to know about the parameter. So this should actually pass some tests. You could think about what tests those would be. When is the reverse of a string the same as the string? We've made an allusion to that already. And we'll see if I actually pass any tests. I'm hitting the back button. I need to do DNA Reverse. I need to browse and find DNA Reverse, and I'm going to test and run it. We're seeing what happens. It's being correct. I've got 8 out of 14 correct. That's amazing. 8 out of 14 were palindromes. I obviously failed a lot. It's not how many you pass, it's how many you fail. We don't get 50% credit, we get basically no credit. So now let's go in and see if we can figure out how it is we're going to write the code that solves this problem. I need to reverse a string. We have a standard paradigm of building up a solution from pieces. In this case, I'm going to build the reverse of a string by concatenating, some people prefer catenating, characters onto the string that's being reversed. So I'm going to call it rev, and that's the string I'm going to return. You can see I've got a big red X here, and it's going to tell me if I hover over it, the local variable rev may not have been initialized. Now I could let Eclipse initialize it, initialize the variable. It's going to set it to null. That's in general not going to be useful ever for strings. Possible I'm saving it. So I'm going to use the empty string, which is basically the string of no characters. That's a good initialization because it allows me to build up the string one character at a time. Now I need to look at all the characters in this strand in order, and I'm going to take the first one and put it on the end of this string, and the second one and put it on the end of the string. That's not going to work. If I took ABC and put each one on the end, I'd get ABC. I need to take each one and put it on the beginning of the string. So if I get ABC, here I'll put a little comment here so you can see what I'm talking about. If I get ABC and I process them in the order first A, first B, first C, then when I process C, I need to add it at the front. So each new character that I consider, first A, then B, then C, I'm going to add it to the front of the string I'm building up one character at a time. So first I'll have A, then I'll have BA, then I'll have BAC. Sorry, then I'll have CBA. I add each character to the front, and I need to write the code to make that happen. Now, to consider each character in the string, I'm going to use one standard format, which is to loop over all the characters. This first character has index 0. The last character has index DNA.length, but not including it. So a 3-character string, as I hope you'll remember, has characters 0, 1, 2. That is why I use the strict less than. That should be a familiar paradigm. Now I need to access the character, and I'm going to just do it this way. DNA dot char at is the method I need, and k is my index. I'm using my loop control variable, which starts at 0, doesn't include, goes up to not including the length, gets incremented by 1 each time. That k++ is, I could also write as k gets k plus 1. That may be something that you're more used to seeing, but the abbreviation of k++ is shorthand that's often used. I have that character. Now you can see that the warning is I've never read it. So I wrote that variable, I stored it, but I haven't used it. I'm about to use it. I'm going to say rev gets ch plus rev. That takes this character and adds it to the front of the string. Hopefully you can see the difference. No, that would add it to the back of the string, but I already can see from this example I want to add BA and then B to the front and then C to the front of that. Hopefully that's all I'm going to need. I save it. I come back to my browser, go back, test and run it. 14 out of 14, all green. That means you get to do the green dance, the green dance, the green dance. Woo! However, I'm also going to come in here and show you one other way of solving this that I wouldn't expect anybody to come up with. It's just good to know these methods exist. So first I'm going to select that all, right click, source, toggle a comment. I just commented that entire line out, all that code. This method must return a result. So I'm going to say return new string buffer DNA dot, and you can see when I put the dot I got reverse. Now I got a big red X. Cannot convert from string buffer to string. I happen to look up that string buffer has a method called reverse that reverses the string buffer. The string buffer is kind of a modifiable string. Now I need to convert this to a string, so I'm going to call toString. Now that's a one-line solution. I'm going to come in and investigate that line again in a minute. I just want to see I could do this in one line. Return new string buffer DNA dot reverse dot toString. That's easy to write, hard to understand. I'm going to test it to make sure it passes all my tests. Boom, bada boom. 14 out of 14. It's a minor green dance. We'll come back here. I have to make a string buffer object. In Java you always make new objects by calling new. I'm constructing this from a string. One of the ways of constructing a string buffer is from a string. Once I've constructed it, I can call methods on it. That's the dot. The method name is reverse. That returns a string buffer. Then a dot toString. There we go. And we're going to have to come back to that later when you have some chance to look at yourself. I'm going to have to find the stop button on my program, which seems to have disappeared. There it is.